I'd like to talk a little bit about this tears of humanity. It really started coming up to the surface about a year ago. And it kind of all tied in with the coronavirus. But it's really come to the surface, in the past, I would say past 2 months in particular. Such a sadness, such a sadness. I dare say that all humans are feeling it to one degree or another. Just most aren't aware of what it really is. And it is a sadness because, well, particularly as your journey on this planet comes to an end, shortly after that others start going into their final incarnation. They start realizing that there's so many things that were done and simply didn't need to be. Wars. Why? Why wars? There were wars prior to humans ever coming to this planet. Not the same type of wars, but there were battles on the cosmic realms, energy stealing. But the wars here on Earth, so real, so vivid, and so destructive. Wars were so barbaric. Wars where millions and millions and millions were killed needlessly. And one could argue that, well, does any of it really make a difference because we're eternal beings? But there is a sadness, the tears of humanity for what we've done to each other. This comes to the surface now because we're ready for a change, and when change comes about, all those things that are buried, all those things that are stuck must come to the surface. There's tears of humanity for the torturing of other humans. Where would one ever get the idea to torture another in the physical way or the mental way? Why, oh why did we do this? Why would one ever torture another? What, to get their energy? To quiet a dissonant voice? To take out anger and aggression? Why would a human ever torture? Why would they rape? Why would they violate the body of another? Such a sadness comes over. Not only that, but these aren't memories that you just, pretend aren't there. They're in the mass consciousness. They're in that cloud of the human psyche. Rape and torture and humans arguing and fighting with each other, getting in each other's faces, saying very abusive things, yelling and screaming, and oftentimes in front of the children, saying things that can almost never be taken back. Why do humans do these things? Why? We're angels after all. We came here with the highest of good and the highest of intent. We came here to understand energy and what has become of us. Why do we take a knife and a sword to another human being? Why would we want to kill another? But yet we do. Why is there greed? Where did greed come from? Were we greedy as angels? Maybe not. Maybe naive, but greed. Greed is a mature energy. Greed is, well, it's a conscious effort. It's not just naivety. It's greed. Why does that exist? Why have we done that as humans? Taking away from others. How does this help us, this greed? How does it ever help us to understand that the energy is ours and only ours? Where did greed come from? We can't pass it off and say that some alien life forms brought it here or Satan brought it here. No, we the humans, we brought it here. Why? Such tears. Hunger. The planet has the ability to produce more food than is needed for the planet. But yet there are those who go hungry every day and night, are deprived of the basics of human physical life, food and clean water. Why, angels, did we do this? Where did we go wrong? We came here with such noble intent. Why is there hunger? We're aware of it. We see it almost every day, but yet we ignore it. Why is there hunger on this planet? These are the tears of the humanity right now, the sadness that comes up that so many of you have been feeling. Prisons. Why do we have prisons? What's the reason? Aren't we just throwing ourselves in prison and thinking it's somebody else? Aren't the prisons really our own? Are we avoiding the real issue by incarcerating those who we deem unworthy and guilty? We put them in prisons, pretend they're not there, deprive them of certain human rights and their ability to become sovereign. Why do we have prisons on this planet? How cruel we are as humans to each other. How cruel. Poverty. This planet's at a place right now where there's tremendous wealth. Tremendous wealth. But yet so many are in poverty, unable to afford the fuel and the electricity for their dingy little homes. They have to steal for a living, and when they're caught, they're put in prison. Why do we have poverty on this planet? This planet of abundance that can produce more than is needed by creative humans that know better than to allow anyone to exist in poverty. These are the tears of humanity. Why have we, the angels, allowed this ever to be on this planet? And you can't just say it's for the experience. We know it's not right. We know it's time for a change on this planet. We've lost our dignity as angels who came here to learn about energy. We've lost our dignity as humans. There are many on the planet who have great wealth. Many, many more who live in poverty, and they're ignored, they're invisible to so many. And then to make it even worse, their ways of poverty are almost encouraged and supported by governments and businesses to keep them in poverty, to keep them invisible. What have we done, dear angels, when we came here to this glorious planet Earth with its nature and its abundance and all the opportunities that we had? Why do we kill? Why do we steal? These are the tears of humanity right now. And then the sad reality. We should have seen it coming. We should have seen it coming. Drugs and addictions. Those who no longer can cope, those who have been subject to cruel behaviors by themselves, by others. Those who are so guilty about the cruelty they have inflicted, but also victims to the cruelty that's been put on them. They resort to drugs. Drugs ultimately numb their beingness, turn them into addicts. What have we done? What have we done on this planet where so many are addicted to a variety of different drugs and medications that numb the brain, that numb the body, that distort reality to huge, huge degrees? What have we done, dear angels, on this planet? It's not all good. No, it's not all good. We can't stay blind to it anymore. And I'm not talking about taking up causes. No, I'm talking about making the changes within ourselves right now. It's almost despicable when we look out on the course of history and humanity. We shouldn't have this poverty, this greed, this raping and pillaging and violence and wars and crimes and drugs, and it's time that's got to change. It's time mass consciousness changes, but it doesn't know where to start. That's what you've been feeling lately, is the tears of humanity, the tears of the angels. They're your own tears and the tears of other humans. We're wondering, why, oh why? Why, oh why? What to do? That's why you're here. It's not to go out and try to start fixing humans right now. It's allowing your own self, your own tears now to come to the surface. Let your own dragon bring these to the surface, even though it hurts to look at it, so that you can release it. By freeing yourself from the guilt and the shame of these things, by allowing even these terrible things to come to wisdom, it begins a whole sequence of events. It starts changing the planet. By bringing these to the surface and letting them come into wisdom, it starts to change the past. Because the past is here right now, it starts to change all the potentials of the future. And in a manner of speaking, it goes all the way into the past. All the way to taking that first step as a human on this planet, all the way even to the order of the ark. And it changes that past, which is right now. And instead of a planet of war and addictions and greed and injustices, it starts changing everything now into a planet of joy and discovery, experience, love, sharing and caring, and more than anything, taking care of yourself. Perhaps that's something that should have been a sign on the wall when you first came from the order of the ark through the portals to earth, a sign on the wall saying, take care of yourself first. Then you won't go looking to take energy from anyone else. Take care of yourself first, and then you're not going to go to places of anger and abuse. Take care of yourself first, and you should become the great standard for others. Take care of yourself first. Bring yourself into balance. Come to your own understanding of energies. They aren't with anybody else. They aren't in anybody else. The answer is within you. Now, let yourself discover it. Perhaps that sign needs to be there now for all who come to earth and any of the new earths. You will find it all within you when you take care of yourself. As you take care of yourself, you have a profound effect on every other human on this planet, and a profound effect on supermass consciousness. As you come to realize your own energy, that it's yours, that it's there to serve you, it has a profound effect on what you would call the past, because you realize the others don't have it. There's no need to war with them for energy, to violate them for energy. It's all within you. A sign at the door saying, take care of yourself first. Let energy serve you, and then you will truly be a master in service to all others. Let's bring in the past right now, because, well, it's always been here. Let's bring in the past. Yes, even the wars, the violations, and the hatreds, the addictions, let's bring it in now, so that we may bring all of this to wisdom, healing the past, so to speak. That sadness has been so prevalent, so present. As you wonder, why did we do these things? Why is humanity this way? And it shows up every day on your television screens and in the news. Humans still acting cruelly to other humans. Ultimately, it's really about cruelty to oneself. Let's take a good deep breath, and with this gathering here in ProGnost 2021, let's bring these things up to the surface. And let's bring them to wisdom now. Wisdom is not justification. Wisdom is wisdom. Wisdom, then, it can go into the past and into the future. It goes, the way of Eterna goes into the past and the future. The energies then are unbound, let free. And literally the past can change. Let's take a deep breath of the tears of the angels and the tears of humanity. As we evolve into the new era, as we go into our Ænd Times together, let's go beyond hatred, violence, killing, stealing, trying to get the answers from anywhere outside of yourself. Let's take a good deep breath together. So this is what you've been feeling. It's very, very real. Other humans have been feeling it too, and some of them act out in even more rage. Some of them take up arms for their cause and call their cause righteous. We're not taking up arms. We're not taking sides. We're simply going into the Ænd Times.